angry Aussie. Aussie. Angry Aussie. Angry.
Alrighty, here we are live, and I see a very animated conversation's been going on in chat before I even got here. So I hope you all had fun. I'm not going to scroll through it and catch up with it. But who's there? Hello, Shieldsy and Nobody and Luke and Chris. Hello. That's me just announcing myself. I had a big burger for dinner. And so I'm a little gassy at the moment. So we will see how I progress with that. Man, if I don't do a huge crap in the morning, there's something wrong with me. A little bit of everything tonight with burger and onion rings and chips and mac and cheese. And so... Yes, the cat shirt's back. I'm cycling through them. Our lockdown ends at midnight, but there's still restrictions. But like, I'm not supposed to travel more than 25 kilometers from home, but I can do it for any reason. I'm still supposed to wear a mask outside. Still can't have people in the house. But the absolute lockdowns happen, so shops and stuff will open tomorrow with capacity limits. So I'm going to go out on Saturday night. Pew, 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 pew. Can't stop me. I'm going out on Saturday night. Nice. Nobody? Been doing self-care. Excellent. Yes. How to keep warm, Shieldsy, with a heater. That's it, basically. Charlie's lockdown's over. Time to sunbathe nude. Yeah, I don't know. Lockdown's more the time to sunbathe. It's just the... we're getting into actual winter weather here, and it's been quite cold and windy and rainy for a couple of days. It's calmed down a bit at the moment, but at various times over the last couple of days, cold, windy, rainy. Chris, going out to a restaurant with Mrs. Angry for date night. Been there once before. They do nice food and pretty good cocktails. So I'm going out. Yes, I think the guy who runs it's Italian. So it's like an Italian thing. But they're pretty cool, the bar. They have a lot of Australian spirits in the bar, which is always nice to see. Hello, Greg and Celtic King. Oh, no, music at Melbourne Airport, 38 kilometres, so no flying. Probably not for another week. I think... assuming we don't get an upsurge in cases in the next week, then the majority of restrictions will be gone the week after that. I think there'll probably be staging. There'll probably still be some capacity limits in venues. But speaking of viruses that want to destroy the world, it's 80.
Hello, how you going?
Nice.
Not the whole world. Just the bits with people in.
That's fair. Moderate ambitions.
So, I wouldn't want to go into a volcano and make a volcano sick because they have terrible tummy trouble. I wouldn't want to go into a Zeppelin airship and make that sick because, they've already got body consciousness issues. I like to call them airships of size.
Yeah, that's fair.
I wouldn't, for example, I'd like to make monkeys sick. Because they're fucking monkeys.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone thinks, monkeys, it's cute. They're not. They're aggressive, nasty little shits who throw shit at you. So I'd like to be a virus that makes monkeys sick and then, make them curl over and go, maybe I should have been nicer to Daisy.
Too late now.
I should have a shave too, I noticed, but I didn't.
You didn't.
And I did. I'm eating also, and I won't be eating for very long, so that will stop.
Okay.
But I'm eating a totally vegan meal, if you don't count the cheese or the meat.
Right. I had one of those tonight. It had meat and cheese in it. Yeah.
A vegan meal, yeah.
Yeah.
So I had a very exciting day. I went and convinced my GP to sign and help me make out a stat deck with pictures that I had bought from the post office, passport photos, to say, this is AIDSy, and I agree that it's AIDSy, and I'm his doctor. Then I took these same stat decks. These stat decks have been 2 weeks in the making. The same stat deck, and said to the pharmacist, can you replicate that? And the pharmacist said, no, I'm not your doctor's name. No, that's not what I meant. What I meant was, can you say the same things as doctor's name said?
But with your name.
Because I'm not a doctor. Every time he puts in doctor, you put in pharmacist. Oh, I could do that. Great.
Which one of you is autistic?
Yeah. And then she said, oh no, this won't work. Why is that? I've got to see you sign it. You see me sign on Fidone every day. Every day you see me sign on Fidone. It's the same signature. Down 50 columns that side and 50 columns that side. It doesn't change. Why don't I cross it out and do it again? Yeah, that'll work. So I crossed out my signature and signed it again in front of her. Same signature, same person. So I get this. This has so far cost me $60, by the way.
Yeah.
With photos and stat deckages, which are only supposed to be $2, but if you want the special one to do with medicine, you've got to put on another $14.50. It was just getting beyond. And then you got to pay the people to sign them because you're taking them away from their business, and which is fair enough. That's totally fair enough. Anyway, I go to the post office. Now, this post office I've been going to for fucking nearly 10 years, right? It's the same people. It's me, right? I get packages from my folks. I get packages from interstate all the time. And I get mail that's too fat to fit in my fucking mailbox, which is tiny. And I go up and say, hey, I'm 80. Give me my mail. And they go, we're going to have to CRD.
Yeah.
Right. I'm the same AZ that I was yesterday when you gave me the mail. You gave me the mail. We're going to have to CRD. All right, I've got this passport. Oh, it's over 10 years old, but it's still got my fucking head on it, which is the same head, even though it's over 10 years old. Hasn't changed for me to have 5 noses and 6 eyes. And it was good back then. What's majorly changed? Oh, it's out of date. How is my head out of date? Anyway, so I go, right, all right, okay, it's not a photographic ID. I'll need a proof of age card. Oh, well, for that, you'll need your birth certificate, right, and some photo ID. The proof of age card is the photo ID. All right.
Yes.
And I'm just going, I'm getting more and more frustrated by this. So anyway, I finally figure out I can get a stat deck with a doctor and a pharmacist to sign saying, this is AZ. This is what he looks like. I'm signing the back of the picture to say I know him and this is what he looks like. And I'm fucking saunter up to the fucking counter there and I've got my healthcare card out ready to roll, because they don't want to see the one on your phone. Oh, no, not the digital one that Centrelink uses. No, they want to see the paper one. So I brought the paper one in because it's got my address on it, and I've got everything stacked up, ready to go. And I put it down. She says, and it's the one that I don't like very much. And she says, so what is it today? And I said, I'm picking up a parcel, and I've got some photo ID here.
Yeah.
Lots of it, as it turns out. And she goes, so is this the address? And I go, well, yeah. Okay, and that's the name? Well, yes. Okay, and then she goes off and gets it and brings it back and just fucking gives it to me. It's registered mail. I've got a sign for it. I've got, and I'm going, don't you want to look at my papier? And, you know, if you were the SS and stopped me in the middle of a Paris dusky street, you'd go, papieren, and I'd be freaking out with my finger on the Bren gun trigger, you know, as my cool Sergeant Major, Kirk Ness, was just going, no, we're just gonna walk through this one. This is not our mission objective, you know. But I just got my killing Germans itch on, and she's fucking not looked at the fucking photo ID at all, and goes, oh yeah, we know you.
Yeah.
And I shit myself. I thought, why didn't you know me all those other fucking times that you fucking... Anyway, so I've got my birth certificate. I've got 2 forms of photo ID. I'm going to go and apply for a fucking proof of age card, and I'm going to fucking have it stitched to me. Yeah, I might have a pocket stitched to me, like, you know, like a bus pass pocket, and be able to slip it out every now and again for bayouing purposes. Yeah, because those proof of age things, they don't run out.
Right.
I think you've got to update the photo every 10 years, 15 years. So there you go. What a shitty adventure. Also shitty, I thought I'd come on and say, you know how I got put in hospital because I had ulcers on my legs?
Yes.
That got too grody and horrible. Well, we've been aggressively treating them and putting more and more compression on my lower legs to get the veins to pump blood back up to my upper legs and booty. And this morning we found the 2 pinpricks that were there last week have grown considerably, and there's 5 new ones that are fucking enormous. And they were comforting me by saying, don't worry, this is not necrotic, this is just dead skin that we're taking off.
Right.
But it is the stage before necrotic, and I'm just going, I can't go back into fucking hospital with leggy legs again. And I've been doing everything right too, which pisses me off. Like everything right.
Yeah.
You know, keeping my fucking stockings on, high compression all the time.
Yeah.
Exercising, you know, eating right. Well, not now, but eating right.
Look, broadly.
I've got fruit. Look at that. When did you last see a fruit near me?
A fruit. Depends if we're talking colloquially, of course, but, you know.
That's a very good point. That is
70s,
a very good point.
70s slang.
That's a very good point, because there's been lots of fruit near me. I've been in lots of fruit. Lots of fruit's been in me. Yeah. Now I'm talking about the vegetable.
Yes.
Fruits and vegetables, what's the difference? There is a difference. One of them's seed-bearing, one of them's not.
No, fruits have seed inside them. And vegetables will flower, and the seed is like on the plant. And that's why tomatoes are fruit, although we treat it like a vegetable because it has the seeds on the inside. Whereas the seeds come from the above ground bits on vegetables, I think.
So is a pumpkin a fruit?
I think it would be. I think a pumpkin would classify as a fruit.
And what about a zucchini?
Because it's got seeds on the inside too. See, I'm probably saying completely wrong things, but I think the seed thing is the big thing. And I think
you're up.
Yeah.
I've heard that somewhere before.
Oh, and sorry, you can grow vegetables. Okay, that's an excellent way to put it. Musical Aviator has said fruit is part of a plant's genitals and vegetables are the plant's body. And you can grow a vegetable from a cutting from a vegetable. Like if you cut the top of a carrot and plant that, it'll grow. Whereas with the fruit, you need the seeds. You can't cut a slice of apple with no seed, and you need the seed. So carrots don't.
Carrots and their tiny little seeds, like grass seeds. Excuse me just a moment.
I will excuse you. Yeah, so Glee, what are you saying? John has the same problem with the license for ID, out of date. Only had photo ID for work, which isn't accepted. But even never needed it. Went to the cops to get a proof of age card, and they laughed. But you need ID sometimes. It's a thing, yeah. So I'm going to make something. I had an idea, an experiment for a drinky, for which I need to get a couple things. This is it's a very un-martini glass, but I'm going to use it anyway. I'm going to experiment with a sweet martini the way Mrs. Angry likes it. Oh, AG's phone's singing to it. That's nice. AG's phone singing to us. I'm going to do a little dance. Oh, no, it stopped. I was just about to start dancing.
My phone has a great tone on it, doesn't it?
It does.
And it says, that's the message. If it was to call, it would strum guitars.
Ooh, nice.
If you called me, we'd rock out. We would rock out.
Tempting.
Like the angels would be going, fuck, they're way too hard. I just got forgiven from a nice lady who I called Elizabeth, and her name's Christine.
Fair enough.
Which you don't do. Don't do that. Don't call ladies names that they're not. They tend to get shirty with you. This is all part of my incel training.
That's okay. Greg's telling potato and tomato are part of the same family. So
yes,
Adam,
they
also
are.
known as
They're
nightshade.
part of the deadly nightshade family. I knew that. Ask Greg if I'm right.
I'm assuming deadly nightshade is part of the same family. And I think potatoes can produce a poison if you leave them to, like when they go green. Like
green toadies will kill you.
That'll fuck you up, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And the glands behind cane toads will fuck you up as well, but in a much better way.
Oh, all of cane toads will fuck you up. Yes, a little bit will get you high, a little bit more, make you very sick. There was a sort of, I suppose it was a documentary, but it was done comedically. I don't know, 20 years ago, 30 years. It was just called Cane Toads, and one of the more bizarre bits. Well, there was a guy who was, licking toads. But one of the more straight science bits is a guy who was a naturalist. I think he's working for, like Queensland Parks or something. He was a Yank, but he's going like, he was caring for some quolls, the native cats, and one of them bit a cane toad and died almost instantly. And he was so pissed off. I think it was a garden implement. It was like a pick or a rake or something. And he went, fucking cane toad. And he went whack. And just by sheer bad luck, because the cane toad poison sacs will squirt out under pressure, like when an animal bites them, poison squirts out. Now, he hit it with a stabby thing with great force, and so the poison ejected out with great force. And by real bad luck, it went straight in his eyes. And it's a very
instant
acidic
fucking brain arrangement. Yeah.
Well,
So,
it's
so many-
acidic burning poison in his eyes, and he's rolling around in the backyard screaming in the worst pain he's ever been in. Someone calls an ambulance. He was blind for weeks. Like they were really worried because it's like, no, that's a really corrosive poison you got straight in your eyes. And he was bandaged up for weeks, and then they sort of thing, and his eyesight went back to normal. But bad news.
Was he tripping balls most of the time?
No, it was too much. It was poison levels. Like I think what a lot of the
it was really toxic.
Yeah, as Greg said, like
there was a guy in Britain who decided on a whim and for the benefits of science to get pop rocks and to pour them into his foreskin. See if the popping would give him pleasurable stimulation.
Sure, why not?
And in fact requires surgeons to remove.
No.
That was a TLDR part. The way he describes it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Because he said, I didn't realize, I thought nothing was going to happen after the first 2 minutes, and then he goes through the 24 hours of hell that he goes through. Was asked if he wanted to get circumcised twice.
Jesus.
During this ordeal. He's going to go, save it if you can.
Save it. Oh, dear.
Because they washed it all out, of course, when they got to hospital.
Of course.
They washed it all out, but all the chemical residue was still stinging the shit out of him and causing swellings everywhere that were not supposed to be there. And he said, don't do the pop rocks thing. It's agony. But the pop rocks thing on the tongue whilst performing fellatio is an incredible turn on.
I think I read that in like a 70s Penthouse magazine.
Well, I was lucky enough to
do that
for science try that out for science and I was part of the control group which had the pop rocks, and it was cool. It was a lot of fun. Of course, the control group had to go with women and men, and men without pop rocks and women without pop rocks. So I was very I put in my bit. I did my bit. I put my work in for my country, and I am proud to say that I advanced medical. I advanced science. Well, I advanced
science. Yeah.
I advanced something that day.
That's good.
You know, and I made myself and other people happy, and that's all you can ask for in life.
That's all you can ask for. Okay, Celtic King saying good night. Bye, Celtic King.
Bye, Celtic King. Sorry, I wasn't more entertaining.
That's good. Sorry, I think Charles asking when we were talking about cane toads, why is Australia Satan's playground? I feel compelled to say cane toads aren't Australian. Some moron introduced them, and they are ravaging the fucking ecosystem.
Cane toads were introduced to get rid of the Cactoblastis moth.
Yeah, cane beetle.
Cactoblastis moth would lay its larvae in cactus and would jump out and decimate wheat and sugar crops. Well, Australia couldn't have that. So it said, what eats the Cactoblastis moth? We shall do a bit of bio work here. And they found out that the South American cane toad, and you know, from South America, it's going to have drugs in it. the South American cane toad ate the Cactoblastis moth, and they thought we're on a fucking winner here, and let it go. And they found out that the trials they were trying over in South America, who was very keen to sell us a shitload of cane toads, works out, basically were only feeding the cane toads Cactoblastis moth. And in fact,
yes, when they had the choice to eat other things, they didn't eat Cactoblastis moth.
They left the Cactoblastis moth alone. And in fact, there's been no instances in Australia of cane toads eating the Cactoblastis moth. They eventually had to spray the fucking things. And what we're left with is this cane toad, which is all over Queensland, all about halfway through Northern Territory into Kakadu, and that's a big fucking problem. And down into New South Wales now. They're
very
hard
bad
as fuck. They eat everything. They drink anywhere, and they are so hard to kill. The native species that would kill them, namely the dogs, can't, because they're so toxic they die. Even the foxes have a go.
Apparently the foxes are the only ones you can do it successfully.
I'll rip off a leg.
Foxes have learned to, and I find this bizarre, another introduced pest. Foxes have learned to flip a cane toad over onto its back and tear out a little bit of flesh under here, which is like the only non-toxic bit of flesh on the cane toad. And of course, you're ripping out part of its throat, so it dies as well, which is a bonus. And hello, Kirsten, by the way.
Hello, Kirsten. How are you? I'm only briefly being in tonight. I thought I'd better pop in and prove in a 3D or 2D formation that I was alive, and
proof of life.
That stuff.
Proof of life, as the saying goes.
Yeah, I haven't got a newspaper to hang up in front of me because on Melbourne streets today, if you get seen with the Herald Sun, they shoot you.
Yes.
I had a bizarre experience. I was talking with my brother from Sydney.
Yeah.
And he was telling me how terrible it was in Melbourne and how shockingly bad Dan Andrews was and how he was about to be lynched. And I went, right, okay. And then a little while later, I delved into my internets of things and realised that what's going on for the people in Sydney is that apparently fucking Melbourne has fallen into the jaws of hell and is reaping its just reward. Whereas I said to him, no, it's not actually like that. Everyone's cool with it. And every time Dan Andrews gets up and says, guys, I'm sorry, we've got to do another thing, everyone goes, yep, okay. It sucks, but we'll do it, Dan. You've made us survive so far.
Yeah.
And fucking they were all over him for his holiday that his fucking doctors made him take. They said, you're gone for 2 weeks because you burn out. He was gone for 8 fucking days. And then he came back and then he broke his fucking back. Malingerer. But he's going to be back up on his feet soon. And they're not real happy about it because they don't want it to be soon. But he wants it to be soon.
Yeah, sometime in the next week, after negotiating with his doctors, he's going to make a formal announcement about a return date. So, it's it got the fucking. You might have missed this, but the Victorian Liberal Party have actually started indulging in completely bizarre conspiracy theories. Like, what aren't they telling us? Where was he? Why was he there? Who called the ambulance? What? Because he wasn't at his home when it happened. He was staying like It's not even his holiday at home. I think it was someone he's connected with. But anyway, they've tried to turn it into a conspiracy theory, and everyone's just going, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Yeah, the guy broke his back. Deal. He didn't fucking go on a holiday in a bushfire on his own. He went on a holiday because his doctors told him, "You're going now," because the shit we're seeing under your eyes. Because look, okay, tell me I'm wrong because I'm obviously just a junkie and an idiot, but I see that guy front the cameras, and I see him in the afternoon, and he's much more perked up than he is in the morning, and I'm going, yep, they're giving him sedative to sleep and giving him fucking speed to wake up. That's how they're doing it, because he's working fucking on 3 hours sleep a night, and you can't do that. You can do that for 3-4 years. Like presidents can do it for 8 years, and then that's it. It's over. You're asking for a fucking heart attack. And in a crisis like this, he could do it for 2, 3, 4 years and be right. But then after that, they'd fucking go no. And he was clever enough to get good people around him. His deputy's been doing a fine job. They haven't fucking gone crazily, off message. And Melbourne fucking turned around in this lockdown and went, "Oh, righto, masks on." Same as before. Fucking just this time we were a bit more efficient about it. No one is noticing the terror of it all this time around. Does that make sense?
I don't know. What do you mean by that?
Okay, the first lockdown, everyone was freaking out.
That's because no one knew what was happening. Yeah.
Ghost streets, no toilet paper. And now it's much more like, oh no, fucking, I can go in the supermarket. That's fine. I've checked in. I've got my mask on. I've got my shopping list. Everything's been fucking wiped down anyway twice. I'm going to get my food. I'm going to tap my card, and I'm going to fuck off home. And hurts no one. But there's several subtle things in there that are different. And that are the new normal. I went into Coles today and went up to the sign-in station and zipped my camera on my phone on it, because it's sweet. The old folks have to go in there and put their name and addresses on a piece of paper. Yes. But the young folks all go click, 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 zip, 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 zap, and then show the green tick to the girl or guy at the front, and they go, "Thanks, man," and then in you go. And now anywhere you go in Melbourne, you've got a green tick yourself in, and no one ever notices anymore. It's just a thing. And if you can imagine this scenario playing out, I don't even know how long ago. Everyone would be freaking out going, "Oh, it's Big Brother fucking tracking us all." I mean, in fact, it is Big Brother tracking us all. That's the idea. It is the police state trying to fucking find out where we all are, because it might need to find us in a big fucking hurry, especially with this new fucking Indian strain. Still not in the bottle. I read up today. They're still a bit fucking concerned, and they've relaxed the mask rules on the outside, but they're still sort of keeping their options open to shut it down.
No, they haven't. They changed their mind, and the announcement was today. You still have to wear masks outside for at least the next week.
Because that was part of the deliberation. They were saying that we're not 100% sure on this. Yeah. We're thinking of doing it, but we're a bit worried about this Indian variant. And so they mustn't, because what they were effectively saying is that they could catch and bottle this Indian variant with sweet, but they haven't. They clearly haven't. and apparently it's really contagious and really nasty.
Well, it's early days, but there is a very strong theory that it's up to 50% more contagious. Yes, which is, and it's fucking ravaging India in a truly terrible way.
Like, well, I mean, I'm not having a go at Indians, people, culture, or anything, but there's 200 billion of them all packed into India.
Yes.
If you ever wanted to fucking cultivate a disease, that's how you do it.
Yeah. Concentrated population, not good.
Yeah. Like if you cram that many people together and whack a disease pandemic through it, most of the mutations are going to do fuck all, but 2 or 3 of them are going to really come roaring through as thunderous bad boys. It's the same thing in China. People, not subsistence, but the cultural thing was always to have pigs and chickens or ducks in the backyard. You'd have your pigs over here and your ducks over here and some veggies sort of out the back, right? And the pig shit and duck shit fertilizes the garden really nicely. And then you water everything down and you've got food for the whole compound. Thing is, having pigs and birds next to one another in close proximity in pretty poor conditions, because remember, they're also being grown for their shit, basically allows you to have a circular track of disease mutation from human to pig to duck to human to pig to duck to human, pig, duck, pig, human, pig, duck, pig, human. And you get this really rapid translation and transmigration of disease mutation in that setup. And it's not even, the answer is not don't allow anyone to have pigs or geese in their, or pigs or ducks in their backyard. The answer is there's more than a couple of billion of them. And when you get that kind of pressing numbers, the 1 in 5 million mutation that's a bad boy turns up all the time. You've got that much better opportunity. I mean, the biggest, baddest mutation is probably living somewhere here in Australia, but no one will come across it because it's living out past Marlborough and no one lives there. So we're never going to see it. I wonder how many plagues fetched up in Australia and went, oh, we might have fucked up here. Yeah, there's no one around and will not be anyone around for the next 600 years.
Yeah.
Can we hibernate that long? Well, yeah, we can, but there's no stock. There's nothing. It's going to be a very boring 600-year hibernation. Yes, it is. Not tachycardia. Fuck. Tardigrades. They got some tardigrades on a lens of one of the Mars missions.
Right.
And they said, oh my God, it's life on Mars.
It was just a tardigrade that came from Earth.
There's something living there. And then they looked at it and they said, that's a tardigrade. And the thing with these things is they're the most not robust, but
hard to kill.
What's the
hard to kill? Just hard to kill
animal in the world. They're an extremophile. They can live in lava. They can live in +2 Kelvin. This is the same animal. If there's no water, all it does is it folds itself up like origami and goes to sleep. And it can sleep for 2,500 years. That's as far as we know. That's as far as we can prove. Probably more. Anyway, so they see this tardigrade on the lens of the cap and they go, you know what it is, don't you? It's just hitched a ride on the spaceship and it's just now there.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have even noticed it, but it's just fucking hanging out because you can't get rid of them because they're so tiny when they're hibernating.
Well, microscopic even.
Yeah, they're like a little microdot, and then they puff up to the size of a. The biggest one is the size of a grain of rice. The smallest ones are sort of big in the microscope. But they're kind of cool. I like an extremophile, a little animal that says, "Nah, I'm not going to die and stuff." And they were looking at their mating. How do they mate?
That's rude.
Is it parthenogenesis? And it's not parthenogenesis. What they do is they climb on the other one's back and pass between them ovum and sperm in a neat two-way exchange, like a drug deal. And then they'll go off and find another one and pass the ovum and sperm that it thinks it likes and hands that on. So it keeps the good stuff for itself, exports the stuff that's okay, and keeps the finesse stuff for just keeping everything else lubricated and warm. And then it lays eggs, which have got the consistency of pebbles. And these eggs basically stay on the ground for as long as it takes the grub to chew through the rock of the egg and free itself. So by doing that, it teaches itself how to chew rocks, and they eat through rocks. They've cut open Arctic rocks and found these green layers of lichen and slime in, but also layers of tardigrades just eating the fucking lichen and slime. And you go, you haven't seen any sunlight, and that's all you've had to eat for 2,000 years. And it's like, cool. And you're just going, what would you do when you finished eating all of the lichen and slime? Oh, we'd burrow out and try again. So you got to think of them as the Genghis Khan of Animalia. They'll do you a deal, but they will overwhelm you just with their sheer tenacity and unkillability. Or maybe they're the Musashi. Actually, that's even better. I like that. They're the Musashi of animals. They do the unexpected, and they wield two swords.
Right. That's a good point. They'll throw in Milk My Mantis. These things waiting for the next snap lockdown over nothing in WA. You've got a replica diving helmet to wear in public instead of a mask. Well, still effective. That's what I'm saying. The old, diving bell helmet is what he wants to wear instead of a mask. That's a statement.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's a statement right there.
Why not do that?
Yeah.
I saw somebody walking around the other day with scuba gear on, with the mask and the ventilator going and the scuba gear, and I thought, oh, how clever! And then I got a dark eye look from the partner, and I saw that there was also other things being pumped into this person, so it might have been a little bit needs to breathe oxygen through a tank on their back. That's the only way they can get outside. Sorry. Because I was going, oh yeah, scuba inside, how cool. No, not cool, dude. And I say, get onto vaping as soon as you can. Get off the fucking smokes. It'll only kill you. I got told I had emphysema.
Oh, that's a plus.
All smokers have emphysema. This is not a fucking news story.
Yes.
As soon as you smoke cigarettes, you are actually burning the lowest rungs of your alveoli.
Yeah.
Is that the right word?
Alveoli, I think.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
You're burning out those things, and that's emphysema. And when it gets to the point where you can no longer put in enough oxygen to sustain yourself during any kind of activity, then you've got chronic and life-threatening emphysema. But all smokers get it. And I was huffing and puffing my way up the hill, and I was thinking, oh, the emphysema is finally getting to me. And then I was talking to my GP about it, and he said, yeah, it could be the emphysema. It could be you're a fat cunt too. And I went, well, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, that's my GP and I speak to each other like that.
Yeah.
And, I wasn't offended. He's right. He said, you want to get on the scales? And he said, big boy, you've put on a bit more big boy. And I went, yeah, I'm not happy about it. And he said, what are you doing about it? And he's like, oh, I'm sending you to a dietitian. Oh, are you? You know what this fucking dietitian wanted me to have?
What?
Quinoa.
That's, well, on the plus side, if you're eating quinoa, you're stealing it from the South American natives. That was their staple. So you're killing a bunch of foreigners if you eat quinoa. So I don't know if that's going to make you want to eat it more.
Look,
but
my hatred needle is set to the Inuit. You know that? I know that. Those
so you should be eating whale
poking fucks with their temporary ice shoulders. They should be called Eskimos, which means meat eater. Fucking, it's not a writing thing. It was invented by a priest. No one believes it. It just looks like aliens took a shit on one of their fucking signs. So I'm a lot cooler with with that than the Inuit. So I got blamed. One of these other doctors at the hospital blamed something on my emphysema. You should have a Ventolin puff wherever you go because you get out of breath. Quinoa tastes like fucking dirt and has a texture of squishy pebbles. Charles, you, me, fucking we are like that from now on. It's
good. Do you like, by the way, my drink, As Black as Your Soul? So it's a very dark drink.
Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. I'm fucking giving a lot of this to the camera. I don't like it. I'm not set up right. Maybe I'm fucking just giving it a bit of this. Charles, fucking the first thing I said to this bloody dietitian was, I said, look, it's got to cost fucking nothing because I'm a fucking pensioner. Right? And so she's going, right, yep, I got that. Okay, halve your sugar. And I'm going, okay. And less coffee. Okay. And then she's gone, and half your plate's full of vegetables. I could do that. Fucking, so what's that? Pies, hash browns.
That's a vegetable. That's technically a vegetable. Tomato pizzas, on the pizza. That's a vegetable.
Yeah.
Tomato on the pizza. Vegetable.
That's a fruit.
Yes, that's your fruit and veg going on there.
On there, so that's cool. I'm on the, and then she's fucking come out with a quinoa, and I'm going, fuck quinoa. Yeah, get into the quinoa, and I'm going, you can go fuck yourself 4 ways from fucking Sunday, and the 3 powers of Christ, compels thee to fuck thee with a barbed wire on a stick. Fuck off, quinoa. Look, I might have vaped before anyone else. and being
Yes.
a hipster in that. I mean,
Yeah.
I was a hipster before I was a hipster.
Yes.
Right? But when the quinoa thing came out, I called it for what it was, a gluten tragedy waiting to happen.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
was I wrong? No.
Yeah.
Eventually you had quinoa everything.
Yeah.
You had
Yep.
fucking
It was.
quinoa suppositories after a while. There were
I'm not
quinoa
joking.
drumming circles.
I've seen quinoa vodka, so it's ridiculous. So it's ridiculous. I should bring over some of the meal replacement. Now we're allowed to travel with the restrictions gone. We're allowed to go 25 kilometers now, so I can actually come over to your place.
Be nice to see you. We could go for a takeaway at my favourite cafe. You're not allowed to sit down in there, but you can take away coffee.
Get a takeaway. Actually, we will be allowed to sit down there. They're allowed to open with sit downs. Be very limited numbers, but you will be allowed to sit down.
Without being rude, you and me would get a table because they like me there. It's actually a little bit unseemly to see the wait staff race to me and whoever's their table it is, because we're actually nice to the wait staff and not real pricks. And so they fucking run to our table going, "Oh, hi guys, how you doing? Oh, the usual, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Friendly, polite fucking chit chat with respect." And you can see their day being fucking made. And fucking, you see see some of the other white stuff going, I was talking to these slags and I could have been out there. And it's like, that's sad. It's the only good 5 minutes they have all day, and it's fucked because it means that everyone else is being an asshole to them, and that's fucked. Be nice to people behind counters. They can't run away. This is the thing that I hated about the chasers. They always attacked people behind counters who couldn't run away. And politicians, again, who can't run away. Why weren't they off fucking knocking up Chopper Reed at 4 o'clock in the morning and saying, we think you're a big fat Jesse Poofter. What's your comment on that? Because that's fucking satire right there.
Is that what that is? That's satire.
That's speaking truth to power. Go up to one of the Grollos and go, this money that you've stolen, and see if you get out of there alive. Put a stopwatch on.
You were saying about Chopper because there was that comedian Heath Franklin who made a lot of money with his parody Chopper show when Chopper was still alive. And I did see just one interview where Chopper was going, "Yeah, this fella, he's making all this money. I reckon he owes some of that to me." And honestly, if I was Heath Franklin at that point, Chopper Reed going, "I reckon that bloke owes me some money," I'd be fucking nervous. I'd be packing.
I would be packing clothes into suitcases. No, sweetie. Only one teddy bear. Darling, we're not going to need any of the formal wear for the next 2 years. It'll be out of fashion by that time. Just get all the jewellery and we'll stick it in the kids' nappies. We're burning down the house before we go, so any photo albums or anything, take that. I've killed 4 people to make it look like us and have smashed their teeth out. So, hopefully we'll be fine. That's where I'd be going.
Metal Maniac Matt saying there's a time Chopper played Russian roulette with a reporter. I don't recall that, actually. Although that's Hazy recalls that. Sounds in the realms of possibility.
No, it actually happened, and the reporter shat himself when Chopper Reed said, "Oh, you did well," and then click, bang, the gun went off. Because Chopper saw that the thing had advanced one, and the next one in the chamber was the bullet, the actual shot. Yeah. And the reporter didn't know he was playing for real. Chopper hadn't told him he was playing for real. Oh, this is play Russian roulette. No one would play this for real. No, they were playing for real. And the reporter just, for the rest of the interview, is just like, giving it white as a sheet, very disjointed, different questions. You know, guys just shot a gun in a kitchen.
Yeah.
Which reminds me of that wonderful, wonderful scene out of Two Hands. You probably don't remember the movie. It was the one with.
It's a brilliant. Go see it. It's on Netflix. Two Hands is on Netflix.
It's
an
Heath
early
Ledger
Heath
as a
Ledger
young
film
man.
in it. It is a brilliant Australian crime film.
And there's a moment in it where they've just done a bank robbery and they've lost one of the crew. And they're sitting in the lounge room, and one of the kids is playing around with a shotgun in the background and accidentally fires it up into the ceiling. And the father turns around and says, "Oh, fuck's sake, Chris, we're trying to have a moment here." And then gets back into the mourning of their great mate, who was a great mate who did a good job, but he's dead now, so let's divide up his stuff. Good film. Really good film.
It's a very good film. Okay, sorry. The Chopper Read Russian roulette thing's on YouTube. It was Renee Brack. He did it too.
Wow, I didn't know that. Oh, of course
I just went on YouTube and went Chopper Read Russian roulette, and it's on YouTube. And Jesus Christ, that guy. Because again, what's fun about the Eric Bana movie Chopper, where he plays Chopper Read, is about 50% of the stuff in it's true, and 50% of it is Chopper's fantasies. Because that's like Chopper's books, which were very weird, were kind of 50% true and 50% fantasy. So they made the movie 50% verifiable fact and 50% weird Chopper fantasies. But shit like getting someone to cut his ears off in prison, so they'd put him in the infirmary, because there were approximately 20 people who wanted to kill him in general population, and even he couldn't survive that many attempts on his life. And so he thought, I'll convince them I'm crazy and they'll put me in the psych ward. And they said, "You're just playing." And he goes, "Am I?" And he got someone to cut his ears off. He's just like, and as they're cutting him out, he's shouting something like, "Told you I was fucking crazy."
I just fucking can't believe that they got him to do an Oakley ad.
Because he can't put he's got no ears to put
fucking ears. How the hell is he going to have fucking sunglasses? No, but they still got him to do it.
Yeah, he just had to wear tight sunglasses that sort of squeeze the side of his head. Because he's got sunglasses. He's got some. Well, okay, he has stumps of ears. Okay, it's not just holes, but most of what we consider to be the external part of the ear, pretty much more than half of that got chopped off. Because he's a bad man, and well, he's dead now. So I'm slightly comfortable saying things about him now.
Yeah, I'm much more comfortable about fucking giving Chopper Read shit now. That he was an unreliable witness. That he was probably a police informant. That he went round telling everyone that he had the green light, and the cops went round saying, "You don't."
He said, so if I rat out this other bloke I don't even like to you, I can do whatever I want. No. All right, I've got a green light. Nice.
No, you don't.
Oh God, you know who sprang to my mind then? The person who made Chopper Read look tame, 30s Razor Gang man, Chow Hayes. Absolutely fantastic book if you like true crime stuff about Australia's dark past in the early 20th century, the Razor Gangs. The book's called Chow Hayes, Gunman, because he was the only one from that era who survived. He died of old age. This journo found him in like a halfway house retirement home in his 80s or something, and said, "Just tell me your story. Don't bullshit me. I'll stop talking to you if you bullshit me. Just tell me your story." And Chow Hayes was so frightening. Like when he if he'd been in jail for a little while and needed money, he knew where all the illegal dice games and card games were. And the first couple times he held them up and shot or cut a few people. And then it's like, if you've ever seen The Wire, the way Omar in The Wire scares everyone, so they actually just throw money and drugs at him.
Just go away.
Chow would walk up these back alleys where these illegal dice games or card games was, and they go to Chow Hayes, and they would just put the money on the ground and fuck off.
Yeah, just let it go. Just let it go. Getting a bullet in the fucking spine is not worth it.
Yeah.
Lose a couple hundred. I'll be back here in half an hour.
Yeah. They called the razor gangs because, if they got caught with a gun, they would go away for 20 years.
25
but the razor, it's just like, no, I'm just meticulous about my personal grooming. And it was very hard to prove. It's like it was the criminal equivalent of Antifa protesters in the US having a can of soup for their family. You're not going to throw that at cops, are you? No. I'm going home to feed my family. This is soup for my family.
Yeah.
Hoik.
This is soup for my family. This brick is in fact part of my renovation.
Yeah.
And this is not a firearm so much as an invention for inflating car tires very quickly.
Yeah. But
I've just got to get the valving right.
One of the I never watched the Underbelly series. I've heard very varying things about, various true crime things about different phases in Australia's crime history. They did do one on the razor gangs. It focused, as it should have, on the women who were the crime bosses. Megan Tilley.
Megan Tilley, yeah.
Yeah, and the reason they got so big in crime is the laws that were banning things like running brothels or whatnot said something about any man who's convicted of this, because they never conceived of a woman doing it. And these incredibly hard women.
And you know the way that laws are written anyway. They're written by fucking misogynist lawyers. Yeah. So any man who does this is a spiv. Any man who does this is a pimp. And, of course, the women just goes, it doesn't say woman. And the lawyers would go, it doesn't say woman. And the judges would go, no, doesn't, does it?
And it's actually quite difficult to get a law changed. And so
it's very difficult to get it amended once it's in.
Yeah, they manage.
In America, you can amend laws once they're in. But in Australia, you've got to trash the law, start from the ground up, and go again. And when it's co-reliant on dependencies up and down, you've got hell to pay, because it'll take 4 to 8 years to get it all done, and by that time the problem's finished.
Yeah, basically they managed to build their empire while the legal squabble was going on. The cops couldn't hold them, so they stopped trying to arrest them after a while, told the lawyers and the politicians to fix the law, and the time that took, they were able to consolidate their empire, so they then had several layers of protection between them and the cops. Not least, one of the layers of protection was paying the cops to not bother them. So when they first started and got busted, they went to court and went, the law says a man can't do it. And they were like, right, so technically I can't convict you of anything. Damn it.
That's right. See you, Your Honour.
Yeah.
See you later, big fellas.
So
call before you raid next time. We'll give you a freebie. Don't say that in the court, Tilly. Don't say that in court. It doesn't look good.
That's how it works.
The cops are going to use that service, but they don't like you saying it in court.
Yeah.
Both Meg and Tilly at one point had to try and put the foot down, because the cops were coming in for freebies so often that it was digging into their actual clientele, to the time that they had for clientele. And they don't know if it was actually to put a dampener on their income, and to demoralise them. But I mean, it's New South Wales cops. I mean, come on, you need a basically an ICAC inquiry every 7 to 10 years to clean it up and then go again.
Sorry, it was. You know what we're calling them, Meg and Tilly? It was Kate and Tilly. You know what's getting me? Because there's a Hollywood actress called Meg Tilly, and that was stuck in my brain. It was as Kate Lee
Tilly and Kate. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Tilly and Kate.
It was
of course.
Fucking the Hollywood actress Meg Tilly got in my head. Kate and
man.
Tilly.
You're completely
Kate
right.
Yeah. No, that was my fault. I'm the one who brought it in, and it was just like, and I think same thing. Power of suggestion. Your brain went, yeah. There's someone called Meg Tilly. That's fine.
Yeah, but I can't remember anyone's name because I'm brain damaged and on drugs.
Yeah.
Which reminds me.
Time to take.
So
medication.
Basically, I accidentally stole a woman's car. I bullied her out of it. Myself and Weapon were doing a service for families in trouble, and they would insure their car, and their car would be stolen, and various different pieces of damage would happen to it. They would collect the insurance. Everyone was happy. And one night, it wasn't even our night to be on, but Weapon had the mobile phone. Now, these things in those days were like briefcases.
Yes.
These mobile phones, and the fucking thing rang, and we were just about to go out for a big night. And oh, boys, we got a rocket deal. It's extra money. You've got to do it now. Oh, fuck. No, I'm not going to say his name. We're going out. No, you got to do this one. Just as well. It's a quickie. Oh, fuck, all right. What are we going to do? You got to pick up the car, take it to the cotter, trash it, and come back. Oh, fuck, that's 2 hours. Righto. Well, is it ready? Yes, it's ready. Okay, give us the address. Okay, we get round to the address. No fucking lights on. Car's not out in the fucking driveway. And
oh my God. Sorry. Yeah, you've told this story before. No,
so he knocks on the door, and this little old lady goes, yes? We're the guys. We've come to get your car. Oh, really? Yes, we're the guys. We've come to get your car. And then we had to, she'd left stuff in it, so we had to take crap out of it. That, because we said, if you don't, it's not coming back. If you don't like it, if you like it, take it out now. And so we had to, those little fucking cushions with the dots in them, they had to leave, all that crap had to come out. All the paperwork had to come out, and fucking hell, we're looking at our watches going, fuck, we're never going to get out of here. Finally, we say, all right, don't call the cops again until we come back with the keys, and we'll put them in your letterbox, okay? Otherwise, it looks like we just, ran away with your fucking car. Oh, fucking motherfucker. So we're driving out there. Phone rings. Where are you? We're in the fucking car. We've got it. We're driving it to the cotter. Get off our ass. It's not even our night. Well, I'm getting hassled. Well, fucking stop getting hassled because we're doing it. All right. We get out to the cotter. Which used to be out in the boonies in Canberra. It's not so much anymore. We fuck over this car. We break it. We burn it. We fucking damage it. This is an X car. It's a fucking X Parrot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fucking the briefcase rings again. Where the fuck are you? And we're going, the car is on fire. I mean, I don't know what the fuck else you want us to say. Look, the family is waiting. They're supposed to have gone out to the theatre. The family is one little old lady. what? There's one little old fucking lady. She didn't even have the fucking thing out in the driveway. It's it's a Holden model. He's going, oh, what address have you got? And we rattled off the address, and he's gone, oh, try this address. And we're going, no. And he says, no, it's got to happen right now. So we race out. We get the proper car, which is ready to go. Tell them I'm terribly sorry for our lateness. So it's our boss's problem. We bolt back to the clutter. We park it next to the first car, destroy it, go back, put the keys back. And then the boss says, well, what was the address that you went to? And so it was organised that she might get a new car. It was organised that we might take it to her. And when we were talking to her, we said, why did you let us just take your car?
Yeah.
And there's a theatre thing called the power of belief. If you believe something in an in an improvised fashion, if you believe that you have the authority over something, it's very, very good for street theatre. Yeah. So if you believe that you are the all fire breathing, all juggling superstar and commit to that thought, they will believe it too. Those others will believe it too. And there's actually many instances of this on the job site that I did accidentally, but I've learned a lot about it. Anyway, she believed we were the guys, and so we said we were really sorry. And why did you keep going? She said, "Oh, I was really just happy to have someone to talk to." And oh God, don't you feel like the worst motherfucker on earth? So me and my friend made it a habit to go and see her regularly, and she ended up being one of Tilly's girls.
Oh, wow.
She was one of the hoes in the Razor Gangs.
Wow.
And
I wondered what reminded
the stories she told us were fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
And she said, you've got to understand that I didn't see a lot of what the men were doing because that was all, kept away from us.
Yeah.
But we got to see what the cops and the Premier was doing. What the politicians were doing. And we often knew what the budget was going to be before the rest of the cabinet. Yeah. And me and my friend are just going, Jesus Christ. So their brothel used to take positions on buying and selling things based on what they knew were in the budget papers.
Yes.
Because they were rooting the guys who were making up the budget papers.
Yes.
And there's a scene in the Underbelly series of the of one of the enforcer guys giving a prostitute an abortion by hitting her several times in the stomach. Well, that's not as accurate as it is made to let on. What they did used to do is they used to have this mercuric something pill, which they took 4 days in a row. And if it didn't kill you, you had a miscarriage. Give me just a moment. I shall be back.
I'm sure everyone could do with a brief pause after that sudden dark turn of that conversation. Yes, Charles, he scumbagged a little old lady. He really did. I was just looking for something. It's like in all this, I'm looking for one thing, and it's staring me in the goddamn face. God damn it. I hate it when that happens. Oh, by the way, Kirsten, I don't know if you're still listening in the backy ground, but I wanted to ask you about rye whiskey. Namely, I'm about finished my Archie Rose rye whiskey,
Oh shit!
and I'm into. Oh, Kirsten, you got back. Okay, so I'm just about finished my Archie Rose rye whiskey,
Oh,
and
nice.
I was thinking of trying the Gospel Rye. Is that any good? That's a Melbourne rye whiskey.
Oh, I was going to finish off my story about my girlfriend.
Yes.
Anyway, so these abortion tablets were basically mercury poisoning.
Yeah.
And she said, but occasionally you get some idiot girls that were Catholic and didn't like having abortions.
Yeah.
So what they do is they put them on reception while they couldn't work. So for the last 3 months, they'd put them on reception. Because for the first 6 months, they didn't give a fuck. And, you know, guys don't care. And this girl apparently she was an idiot. She was Catholic. She apparently had 9 fucking children while she was working at that fucking brothel. And wondered why she couldn't fucking get away from the life. And the other girls were saying, maybe if you didn't have so many fucking children, you wouldn't have to feed them all. You know, they said it was a blessing when finally the oldest was able to join the gang and bring some money in for a change. And this was their whole, and she said this was their whole mentality of, you know, the boys hanging around the place had to grow up and learn how to hit people so they could bring in some money. It's like, Jesus, it's a whole different world. And then, of course, World War II happens. The gloves come off, and lots of arrangements are made between the Australian government, the Australian underworld, and the Australian military. It was one of those classic situations of, okay, guys, we can play business as usual, or we can play win against the Japanese. Which do we want to do? So the brothels were all basically earmarked by different battalions and or divisions of men. So the Americans had certain brothels. The Australian Army had certain brothels. The Navy had certain brothels, and the Air Force had any brothel they wanted. Basically, girls who got caught moonlighting or refusing service to the proper service personnel were harshly dealt with. There was one brothel in Brisbane that told the Brigadier General, "Oh, we only fuck Yanks," because they had all the money, didn't they? And so he beat the shit out of her, and they took over their brothel. In the Australian records of war finances, you will see entries like entertainment centre. And they were basically the Australian Army's cut of the fucking takings of the brothel. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. And this happened all throughout the world. As the Allies advanced across the world, they would fucking take over the local brothel trade and organise it so that it ran smoothly. Why is it different to the comfort women of Korea, Russia, and all the rest of it? It was different because these were working women who were knowingly working women, who could knowingly walk out of working women and becoming Rosie the Riveter if they wanted to. They weren't slaves like we have now, and they weren't. They were, while the army was in town, they were looked after medically. The army doctors would come in once a month and check them out. Then fucking penicillin hit World War II, and that was a fucking a revelation that an STD didn't have to kill you anymore. You could get rid of gonorrhea, you could get rid of syphilis, you could get rid of everything. Now all you had to do is not get knocked up, and they fixed that in the 60s. Shame about that AIDS thing, huh?
But anyway. we actually just passed the anniversary of an article in a medical journal identifying a cluster of pneumonia cases in Los Angeles, which was very unusual because this was a very rare form that usually only affected people with compromised immune systems. And several years down the track, they realized this doctor just identified the first cluster of AIDS cases in America. The more famous one was the cancer one, the Kaposi sarcoma.
Sarcomes.
That was the more famous one because that doctor said everyone who's got this, who's presented with this in the last 6 months, has been a gay man. And there's no historical precedent to explain why this is happening. And that was when it was like every gay man in America who read newspapers went, what the fuck is this? The first one didn't actually draw the parallel with the fact the patients were all gay. The more famous one was the cancer one. But yeah. Safi, yes, that was back in the 80s, my man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm just getting rye whiskey tips from Kirsten. The straight rye is better than Solera. I was just on their website, Kirsten. They've actually got apparently a limited release one coming out next week. So I just signed up for their newsletter because I want to see what that is. I did get the report about the Archie Rose rum, first rum they've done in ages, which is going for about $270 a bottle. And I'm going, that's a bit rich for me. I'm sure the collectors are going to love it and it's going to sell out, but that's a bit steep for me. I can't quite bring myself to spend that much. What's the other one? Kirsten says Backwoods Rye. Well, now I have to find out what that is. Backwoods Rye.
I've got a fucking great soundtrack going through my head for Backwoods Rye. A lot of steel guitar and a lot of kick beat.
They're from the Victorian High Country.
You know, a lot of I can't even remember what the fucking show was called, but it was based on Fire in the Hole. Justified. Fuck, I love that show.
It's a fantastic show for anyone who hasn't watched it.
Why didn't you kill me? Because we chip coal together. Fucking the music in that was great. One of the best things I've seen out of that was he goes around to him, this guy's place. He's got an ankle bracelet on to stop him going anywhere. And he finds it on the ground. And he says, how the fuck did you get that off? And then he finds his foot.
Yeah, he cut his foot off. Yeah. Yeah.
And that was in the first few apps of Justified. It was like, so they mean it then.
Yeah.
First few seconds of Justified, he shoots his suspect. And then
that's when he's in Florida working for Marshal's office, and he goes this guy who he knows is a bad word, and he just like he'd given this guy who was like a made man in the Florida mob. He said, "Oh, give me 24 hours to leave town, or I'm going to shoot you." And he comes back to the guy 23 hours later and says, "I thought I told you to leave town." And he's going, "I didn't believe you." And he just said, you're not going to make it to the airport in town, so I guess I'm going to have to shoot you. And the guy's got a gun, and Raylan's standing there like he doesn't have his gun in his hand, but he's just going like, and basically he's goading the guy into picking up his gun, and he's just going, I'm going to shoot you. I told you I was going to shoot you. It's going to, and eventually the guy thinks he is going to shoot me and pulls his gun. And that's Raylan's now justified shooting, and he goes bang, bang, bang. And then he has to leave Florida because the mob's going to kill him. And he goes back to his hometown in coal country.
Which is the thing that he became a marshal to not do.
Because his dad's an actual criminal.
To not do that.
Yeah. Yes.
To never go home, to fucking to go back to the county. And because they said there's two ways out of the county. One's on the road and one's in a box.
Yeah.
And they found the third way out. Yeah. And I won't tell anyone because it's such a fucking good end of an arc.
And it's like 4 or 5 seasons. There's a lot to watch. And
there's
it's
a lot
extremely
to watch, but
good. That arc. The characters are so good.
Oh, yeah. There's one little girl character that beats everyone.
She's very good.
Everyone. And and you don't even notice she's doing it until right toward the end. And then you figure it out. But it took her a season and a half to be victorious. And there was big fucking things going on around her. Anyway, enough of that. I've got a massive cock. I was also going to say, what did I see? I was in a butcher's. I wasn't in the butcher's. I was going past the butcher's to see if I could find my friend who was supposed to be taking me to coffee. And this little old Greek lady was arguing with one of the butchers, and it's a kind of a discount butcher. It's one of those weird places. They work right through the night, cutting up meat, like big sides of steer that come in, and of a daytime they're lined up out the door, and they're throwing meat over the counter. And so toward the end of the day, you can see the display shelves have like withered down to fuck all, and they're giving meat away at ridiculously low prices. But the rest of it goes in the bin, and it's a small bin. But there was this little old Greek lady there today, and she was arguing with one of the butchers who was arguing back in Greece. And this other woman came up and slapped her. And fucking everyone's like, what the fuck? And these other two women came and slapped this other woman, the slapper woman. And then a guy came in and punched little old lady and another lady, and fuck, it was on. And I'm like standing there going, this is fucking on. Everyone's screaming in Greek. And then fucking security's there, who knew? Fucking dragging people off, and the butchers have come out round the back, and they're dragging people off to different corners. And then the boss butcher comes, and then he fucking lays down the law. And 3 people, apparently, from what I gather, are never allowed to come back. And little old lady who started it all, she's one of them. And she was in tears going, from what I'm led to believe, saying, how am I going to feed my family? How am I going to get meat to feed my family? And someone said something like, you should have thought of that before you fucking abused the shit out of, because apparently she was abusing someone behind the counter, and someone took umbrage and hit her, and then it was on, and it was
on for young and old.
I was but through this whole COVID thing, I've seen people lose their temper 5 times.
Yeah.
My brother, who lives in Sydney and has been watching news media, is convinced that there's riots on the street daily.
Yeah. That's because
convinced.
the Murdochs just spin non-stop lies. And if you don't actually live here, how are you going to know their lies? It's like they were so upset their campaign at the last state election failed. The whole African crime gangs running the street, because everyone in Melbourne went, no, they're not. And
No,
they said,
they're not.
Melbourne people scared to leave their homes. And Melbourne people went, no,
we're not.
And but interstate, people only had this media lies to go by. Also, Abigail just came in, was very excited to see you.
Hey, Abigail.
Everyone to know she's alive and totally didn't fall asleep reading comics. So
Abigail, I'm alive and totally haven't fallen asleep watching a lot of anime over the last couple of weeks. Though that might happen again tonight.
Yep.
You don't know.
Why not? Why not?
Yep. Yeah. So I had to. I can't call my brother in Sydney because he's very, very busy. He will call me when he's got literally 10 minutes. Anyway, I managed to get a hold of him via text, and I said, look, mate, hey, Annette, how you doing? I'm sorry that you came to the hospital and I was gone. I'm so sorry. I was going to do an all points, but it was fucking.
I forgot about that.
They said, okay, get up and go. And I'm going, it's nighttime. And they said, you've got to go now. And I better go now then. And next day, I'm being told, oh, people are coming to visit you. And I'm going, oh, fuck. Because I was trying to get my shit back together again. And by the time poor old Angry said, Annette's looking for you, I'm going, oh, fuck, I'm out. Sorry, Annette. I'm really sorry. I'll make it up to you somehow. Think of a fetish. I don't do scat, waterworks, or feet. So, anyway, I was saying something about. Oh yeah, my brother. I managed to get hold of him again, and I said I was really confused about our last conversation. Because I've been unplugged from the news for a while because my shrink told me to. But I plugged back into the news, and I am now seeing what you're seeing. And I can tell you this is what's real and this is what is not real. And I basically, I'd done me work properly. I'd gone through it all and I'd gone, these things never actually happened, and went through them. They never actually occurred. That has never actually happened. These things happened, but were so minor that it didn't raise a blip on the radar. So they're not points of contention. The electorate is not thinking this, that, and this. And one of the main things is everyone's upset with Dan Andrews' handling of the coronavirus, the pandemic, and no one is upset at Dan Andrews.
Okay, no, that's not true. Everyone who works for the Murdoch media, everyone in the Liberal Party, everyone who voted for the Liberal Party is making a big scene. And that's about 30 to 40% of the state. So they're being very loud and very obnoxious, but they are a minority. And the majority of them are politically motivated and aren't genuinely upset.
But
Abigail likes the shirt. I don't know if you know this, AZ, but I've been... one of my lockdown impulse purchases are 50s, 60s, 70s retro Hawaiian style shirts with weird abstract designs. This is like hipster cats in the 60s in their bachelor pad.
I like it. It.
Right? Yeah.
I didn't want to steal your thunder because I was going to go tell us about your shirt later.
Yeah, no.
I did a little thing too. I was thinking along the lines of what you've been saying. Why the fuck isn't Labor fucking putting the boot in on this? And I thought, I wonder if, and I went over to the Labor site and looked at their press releases, and fuck me, angry.
Yeah.
Looks as if they've been putting the boot in.
This round of presses, like for this lockdown, the memo's gone around. Every single thing will say, this shit came from Adelaide. It's not our fault. This shit wouldn't be a problem if the federal government hadn't absolutely fucked quarantine and hadn't absolutely fucked the vaccine. They say, and particularly the acting premier, 3 or 4 times at least, every interview is just like, by the way, the federal government sucks balls, not in a good way.
I looked back through federal Labor's press releases as well, and the number of shit that never got up, it just never got fucking traction. And it's easy to see why people are saying, oh, Labor's said nothing, they've said nothing. They've never been heard.
The media have been very much on. Albanese is stepping it up a bit at the federal level, and some other members of caucus are stepping it up quite a bit.
Good luck to him, because everything he's been saying so far has been buried.
Exactly. But because the daily presses in Victoria get blanket media coverage, so they have not fucked around. They have straight, like the acting premier makes a huge point of saying this wouldn't be a problem. We're like 15, 16 months into this, and the federal government has done literally nothing about purpose-built quarantine facilities.
Yeah.
After 15 months, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't even come up with some scam to give their mates who donate to the party a huge government contract. They didn't even come up with a scam.
Yeah,
they just didn't do anything.
They've done fuck all, and they've fucked this virus, this vaccination rollout. They fucked it. America's vaccination rollout's better than ours, and they're fucking
England's vaccination rollout's better than England, who had like the highest sort of percentage fatality rate in the world. And in fact, they're 10 times, 100 times better than us. And it's just like, we are literally, there was a list of countries in terms of per capita vaccinations. Australia was literally 100th on the list. 100th. If the states hadn't ignored the federal government about what actions they took last year, because the federal government went, no, don't shut things down, don't close your borders, don't do. If the states hadn't repeatedly told the government to get fucked, we're doing it our way, we would have just been ravaged, because the federal government was just fucked
on so many levels. The thing that was really, really interesting for me to talk to my bro about was, he said, and fucking in the middle of it all, he goes on holiday. This is Dan Andrews. And I said, no, he was told to leave for 2 weeks.
He did 7
days.
Yeah.
And he came back and he slipped over and hurt himself.
Yeah.
He didn't even leave for the whole 2 weeks. He said, fuck it, I've been gone too long, I'm coming back. Yeah. His doctors told him to go. He wasn't going to go. His doctors told him to fucking go. You're losing it.
Yeah. He was doing 7-day work weeks for over 6 months.
I mean, come on.
He was fronting those fucking media things every day for 6 months. And it's just like, Jesus.
And the other thing that my bro got up Dan Andrews about, was he said, he got asked a question and he says, I don't know. And I went, right. He said, well, he's supposed to be his boss, he's supposed to know. And he says, I don't know. And I said, well, if you don't know, you've got to be able to point to the people around you who do, which he did. He did and does. And he says, I don't know that. I'll have to put you on to blah who does, or someone who might. He's often saying, I'm not across that, because he's not like a Liberal politician who says, I'm going to now lie and fucking put us in a position where we've got to dig our heels into a lie and cost more money and lives. You know, and the fucking lastly, he fucking was screaming about fucking old aged people's care homes, and I said they're a federal responsibility.
Yes.
He says, "Oh, you know, but the state government's done nothing, and it's federal responsibility." And of course, the fucking quarantine's been a joke. And I went, "No, that was a federal.
That's
thing.
a federal responsibility.
That was a federal thing." Oh no, it's just because he didn't want to spend $7 and fucking. I said, no, it's a federal thing. And then, of course, I read the stuff that he'd been reading, and I saw the stuff that he'd been seeing. And I said, I understand where you're coming from now. Let me tell you. I wrote him a letter, and I said, I understand where you're coming from now. I see where you're getting these ideas from. This is actually what's going on. Crime's at an all-time low. Fucking people are helping each other every day. People have been very tolerant. People aren't screaming at each other about masks. People are reminding each other about masks, and people are sheepishly saying, "Oh, thank you, I forgot." People are dropping shit out of their pockets and getting picked up and giving it back to them. People have been fucking courteous, patient, kind, and stressed. Fuck, everybody's doing it tough, and because everyone's doing it tough, everyone's accepted that everyone's doing it tough, and no one's fucking, you know. Apparently, all of the landlords are behind on being paid rent. Yeah, well, apparently everyone is. But the landlords aren't as one screaming, "Get rid of all my tenants." They're as one going, "Well, fuck, what?" You know, they lost their job for 3 months. What the fuck are we supposed to do? They'll get it back to us eventually. And they're apparently every landlord's been instructing their real estate, get onto these people and make an arrangement so that as we come out of this, they can pay it off. We don't want it immediately. We know they can't give it to us immediately. We're not throwing them out of their house. They can pay it off. And this is happening all over Melbourne. I know it's happened in my block of flats. Fucking the real estate agent came around to pretty much everyone and said, "Look, guys, if you think you're going to get into trouble, or if you are in trouble, come see us immediately and we will work it out." And this has been happening everywhere. Fucking, you know, the rental fucking places have been very fucking reasonable. No one's getting thrown out of their fucking house. More and more people are being taken off the streets and put in hotels, blah, blah, blah. It's, you know, it'd be, I don't know, socially, it's probably going to be one of the best fucking things that ever happened for us. I tell you.
So, Mega Leech has come in too and is also excited to see you.
Hey, Mega Leech, how you doing? I should probably bail soon.
You stayed about an hour longer than you said you were going to. So.
I know, because I'm tough.
Because you are. You're a tough, wild, and rugged man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've got photo ID now. And a birth
certificate.
And I'm going to get more fucking photo ID in terms of a proof of age card, and I think I might get my passport back, and that'll be ID heaven. Oh, nice. It'll be so good. And I'm going to get my red card back. My get yourself an Australia Post card. It's a red card. Yeah. An Australia Post card. You do it on the Australia Post website. You just say, "Give me a red card at my address, my name and my address," and if they send it to you, and then when you go in for a parcel, you hand the fucker over, and there's no bullshit about ID. There's no bullshit about fucking, you know, give me scrapings from your genitalia for the type testing. It's just they go around the back, they pick up your parcel, and they give it to you. And my red card went out with my fucking ID. Pro tip: never lose your ID. Never lose your ID. Pro tip. The amount of hassle I've had. Last time I had to pick up something from the post office, I took prescription medicines, letters from home, fucking a electricity bill that my fucking real estate agent fraudulently copied to my name, so that I could have a bill, because we have all bills inclusive in our place. So they helped me out a lot so that I could get a fucking parcel from these people at fucking Australia Post. Fucking when I was at the bank, I said I need a new card, and they said, "Oh, we'll cancel your old one." I said, "No, don't do that, because I can still bank on the phone. But if you cancel the card, I'm screwed." And so I had to get a new card issued and keep the old one alive and use it as, I learned how to use that phone tap pay thing.
Oh, yes,
it's easy enough to do, but it's very nerve-wracking. And they won't show you all the numbers, and you can't pay for anything over the phone. So a number of times I've had to actually schlep my ass all the way to Coburg to see one of my doctors, not be able to pay that doctor, and then come back next day or next few days after and schlep all the way back there and say, yeah, here's your money.
Okay.
Fuck. So yeah, don't lose your ID. Yes, I will have new and interesting things to tell you as soon as I can. But at the moment, I'm fading pretty fast, so I better.
That's okay, man.
Abigail, get in touch with me when you can. Love you guts, Andrew. Let's hook up again soon.
All right, buddy. Take care.
See ya.
See you later.
Love you all.
Bye. It's a random one, Safa. The Australia card. That was the thing Bob Hawke tried to introduce as an ID thing. And people thought that, and it was to stop tax dodging, because it used to be super easy to get a job under a fake name. And so you sort of dodge some of your tax responsibilities. And the Australia card was an attempt to get around that. Everyone went, "Oh, you're going to Nazis make me carry an ID everywhere, blah, blah, blah." And so they ditched it, but then they just came up with a tax file number, which was the same thing. But anyway, because you just remember it's Thursday, not Friday. Oh, no. I sometimes just have to tell myself what day it was. Like yesterday, because yesterday was garbage night here. And I was sitting there going, it's Wednesday. That's garbage night. I've got to put the bins out. Recycling night. Got to put the rubbish bin and the recycling bin out. Next week's the green bin. So it's like, and yes, Safa, I did see there could be COVID in Dubbo. That those people who swanned up to Brisbane, or not Brisbane, but Queensland from Victoria, man, as soon as that it's been sort of fully investigated what the fuck their story is. I noticed it's very interesting. The authorities in Queensland, New South Wales, and Victoria are going, we're not going to say anything full on about how we're going to fuck these people until we're absolutely sure of their status and absolutely sure what happened. But if we get to the stage where we're absolutely sure of their status and absolutely sure what happened and they're in the wrong, we are going to fuck them. We are going to fuck them. Because you can't jail the Basafa. I know everyone's screaming for their blood. It's also got to be, fuck those people. Everything I've heard about them is just like, fuck them. But I'm also trying to empathize the knowledge that a significant majority of the country is focused on what a piece of shit you are and they hate you. That's got to fuck with your head a bit, quite honestly. Oh no, Kirsten, your friend had to postpone a wedding for a second time. Yeah, I mean it's fucked. But I mean, yeah, these people who tested positive for COVID swanned up through New South Wales and up to Caloundra in Queensland, stopping in multiple places, going to the fucking movies, and it's just like, you pieces of shit. You fucking pieces of shit. So we'll have to see what happens there. Sorry, Charles. Oh, thank you for asking, Charles, because I asked you. We're going to do, what was bad decision juice again? Because we did talk about bad decision juice. I want to revisit bad decision juice. Why that was an energy drink based terrible drink, wasn't it? I feel like your memory is better than mine, Charles, and you might remember exactly what we decided. But definitely tomorrow night, yes. Definitely yes. You just have to remind me what's actually in. That's right, Monster Chaos Punch, White Rum and Limoncello. So I've got some sugar-free Monster. I've got like pink. I've got white sugar-free Monster that they call Zero Ultra. But I think this one would be better for a cocktail because it's kind of pink. I've got green Monster, white Monster, and this one. Juice Monster, Pipeline Punch. Wait, did I get the wrong one? Oh, no, this is the no sugar one, I think. No, wait, I think I got the wrong one. God damn it. That one's got sugar in it. Oh, god damn it. This one's got sugar in it. Damn it. I picked up the wrong one. We're here for the bad decision, not the flavors. Annette, you've got some limoncello waiting for a purpose. I got the limoncello and Mando from Applewood. The Applewood limoncello is like the best limoncello I've ever tasted. Yep. So it's white rum, limoncello, and topped with Monster. I'm going to make that as a video actually, because I'd only really decided on 2 videos for next week. Bad decision juice would be one of them. Abigail, got your hands on some blackberry and raspberry gin. Not terribly fond of the taste. Can you suggest some cocktails with it? And yes, I would like to try some. Okay, Kirsten, you think full sugar, bad decisions? Also because this is pink. So I think that'll, if we're doing white rum and limoncello, a pink drink's going to, and I've got my clear ice, so I'll do it in a tall glass with a clear ice and just build it in the fucking glass, really. Blackberry and raspberry gin sounds like a bramble waiting to happen, actually. And so traditionally, a bramble cocktail would be gin, lemon juice, sugar syrup, and blackberry. Either a blackberry liqueur or blackberry jam. And if it's already blackberry gin, I do like. It's the Bombay Bramble. Yeah. I do like 2 ounces of that. Depending on how much you like lemon juice, somewhere between half an ounce and an ounce of lemon juice. And if you're going to do it sort of straight up, you want some sugar in there. But if you're going to do like in a tall glass with ice, just like some lemonade. So like that gin, a little bit of lemon juice, and top with lemonade or soda. You probably want something to sweeten it. So if you're just using soda water, maybe, I don't know if you have any sort of sugar syrup, but That's what I'd make with it. I do like 2 shots of the gin, somewhere between half a shot and a shot of lemon juice, depending how much you like lemon juice. Either half a shot of sugar syrup and top with soda, or just top it with like sugary lemonade. But yeah, the simplest version would be a couple of shots of the Bombay Bramble, half a shot to a shot of lemon juice, and like Schweppes lemonade, a nice lemonade. Top it in a tall glass with ice, and I think you'd be on a bit of a winner there. Otherwise, you could make a Snosberry fizz with it. 50% Bombay Bramble, 50% whiskey, and top with soda or lemonade. That would work too. I like that, Charles. Make the bad decision look sexy. Spank the bad decision. But we'll definitely do that tomorrow night. I'll probably make that the first drink, actually. Drink an energy drink at the start of a Friday night stream. Bad decision juice. So white rum, limoncello, and Monster energy drink. That is such a bad idea. I fucking love it. Such a bad idea. Okay, it didn't quite work as a Snosberry fizz. Fair enough. So, okay, like 2 shots of the gin, half a shot to a shot of lemon juice. Maybe do it with half a shot, and you can add some more if you think it needs it. So half a shot of lemon juice, and then top it with lemonade, like big glass with ice, top with lemonade. And that's basically a Bramble highball at that point. I think that would work. So, yeah, when I make a Snosberry fizz, it's usually with a slow, like a quality slow gin is going to work better than that. I know the gin you're talking about, the Bombay Bramble. Charles, you're hype on this because, well, you'll be joining from cottage country, so you can go on long swim or paddle after having consumed the decisions. Yeah, nice. Oh yeah, okay, Abigail. Yeah, if you end up not like, but it's just there's a million gin drinks we could try it in. There's a whole bunch of gin recipes. You'd like do a white lady, but it would be a purple lady. Oh, Annette, that's a good tip. Brooks slow gin and lemonade is delicious. Basically, any good slow style gin, so fruit gin liqueur with lemonade is going to be good. There's 2 sort of classic. Oh, okay. So a white lady is. I don't know if you have any triple sec or orange curacao, but you can even just do like, but even if you don't have that, just do like a gin sour, which would be your gin. This would be a purple lady, I guess. Your gin, lemon juice or lime juice, sugar syrup. If you're feeling adventurous, add an egg white to make it frothy. But that Bramble in a gin sour would probably be good. What's the other one? The South Side, which is actually just, okay, it's just the gin, lime juice, and sugar syrup. Okay. So, yeah. Mint leaves, if you have mint leaves. So, there's a few classic gin ones you try it with. Charles, a blueberry gin. Go 2 ounce apple juice, 1.5 ounce gin, soda, orange peel. Oh, actually, that sounds really good, Charles. Apple juice, that could work. Oh, and an orange peel expressed over it. Yeah. Yes, Abigail and Kirsten both agree. You're the purple lady. Yeah, so a white lady is with a, straight white gin. So using your Bombay Bramble, you'd be a purple lady. So that, or just a gin sour. Yeah, I don't know if you have orange curacao or triple sec or anything. That's a good sort of utility liqueur to have in your collection. And there's a whole spectrum you can get from, a cheap but workable one like Voc from Dan Murphy's. I have the Marionette orange curacao here, but just getting a triple sec, a Voc triple sec from Dan Murphy's, that's a good utilitarian liqueur. It goes with a lot of spirits. Really well with brandy. You do a sidecar. With gin, you do a white lady, or in the Bombay Bramble case, it'd be a purple lady. So yeah. It depends what you've got to go with it. But even just a gin sour, which is just going to be the gin, lemon or lime juice, and sugar syrup. Charles's one about apple juice topped with soda, I think, is good. I like that, Annette. You like gin for summer, whiskey for winter. That is fairly common, actually. There's because the gin drinks tend to be lighter and brighter, which is like your traditional summer drinks, and the whiskey drinks are the warming and deep ones. I've been sitting here mixing whiskey drinks tonight and enjoying them. I've just been finding all these ones that sound interesting. This one called Burning Bright. It's got lime juice and grapefruit juice, sugar, white rum, Montenegro Amaro. And I want to try that one. Not tonight because I'm going to bed, but maybe tomorrow night. Lime juice, grapefruit juice, sugar. Well, they say powdered sugar. I just use a bit of sugar syrup. White rum and Montenegro Amaro and sweet vermouth. That actually sounds fucking great. But it is bedtime. It is bedtime. Yes, Matt, tomorrow night, party night. Friday night, don't have to get up for work the next day. Fuck yeah, Angry Bunch. Charles is here. We're going to do Bad Decision Juice. And yes, Annette, we're allowed out tomorrow. Shops will be open. We can travel 25 kilometers. You just can't have visitors in your house. So sometime after we're allowed to have visitors in the house, might have someone over for a live stream again. But that'll be a week or two in the future. And we'll see what happens for there. Abigail going to Lincraft. Yeah, Lincraft's probably going to be open. Yeah, retail can open. Hospitality can open. Offices, not so much. We got the official thing at work. If you can continue to work from home, you must continue to work from home. It's like, don't have to tell me twice, buddy. Home for 15 months now. Fuck yeah. I never would have believed that I could just fucking work from home. My God, it's so good. I love it so much. And its productivity hasn't suffered at all. Safi, you can have 2 visitors in regional Vic. Nice. And yes, if you're in regional Vic, you can go just Metro Vic is 25 kilometers. Metro Melbourne is 25 kilometers. Oh, no, Annette. I was slightly surprised when it lasted longer than a week. Oh, Celtic King, Aidsy had to go to bed. He thought he was only going to stay for like 20 minutes, and he stayed for an hour and 20 minutes because he's a little soldier. But I'm going to bed now. Anyone who's up tomorrow night will be up for party night tomorrow night. Angry Bunch, all that fun stuff. Me and Charles are going to do Bad Decision Juice. Yeah. Oh, that's going to be good. That's going to be good. So see you tomorrow night, I guess. Take care, one and all. It's been a weird time we live in. Going to bed now. Bye now.